The views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent or our sponsors. With that said, welcome to the Will Wonder Show.
Mustard on the beat, ho, Debo, any rap nigga, he a free throw, man down, call her Amber Lambs, tell him breathe, bro, nail a nigga to the cross, he walk around like Tizo. What's up with these jabroni ass niggas trying to see Compton? The industry can hate me, fuck them all and they mama. How many options you really got? I mean, it's too many options. I'm finna pass on this body, I'm John Stockton. Beat your ass and hide the Bible if God watching. Sometimes you gotta pop out and show niggas. Certified boogeyman, I'm the one that up to score with him. Walk him down whole time, I know he got some hoe in him. Pull on him, extort shit, bully the flow on him. Say Drake, I hear you like I'm young. You better not ever go to cell block 1. To any bitch that talk to him and they in love, just make sure you hide your little sister from him. They tell me Chubb's the only one that get your hand-me-downs. And party at the party playing with his nose now. And Baca got a weird case, why is he around? Certified lover boys, certified pedophiles. Wop, 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 that fuck him up. Wop, 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 I'ma do my stuff. Why you trolling like a bitch, ain't you tired? Trying to strike a chord and it's probably A minor.
Yeah. For real. Now when I punch through the
I was gonna kill a couple rappers, but they did it themselves. Everybody's suicidal, they didn't even need my help. This shit is elementary, I'd probably go to jail if I shoot at your identity and bounce to the left. Stuck a flag in my city, everybody screaming Compton. I should probably run from here when I'm done, to be honest. And I put that on my mama and my baby boo too. 20 million walking out the court, better whoa whoa. Oh yeah, fuck the judge, I made it past 25. And now I was a little nappy-headed nigga with the world behind him. Life ain't shit but a fat vagina. Screaming, Annie, are you okay? Annie, are you okay? Limo tinted with the gold plate, straight from the bottom. Mr. Belly of the beast, from a peasant to a prince to a motherfucking king. Oh yeah? Bitch, where you and I was...
By the time you hear the next pop, the funk shall be within you.
Reincarnated, I was stargazing. Life goes on, I need all my babies. Woke up looking for the broccoli. High key, keep a horn on me, that can my seat. IP, ownership, the blueprint is by me. Mr. Get Off, I get off in my feet.
Music, it makes me dance. You got the music, now need your chance.
But somebody gotta do it. Got my foot up on the gas, but somebody gotta do it. Turn this TV off, turn this TV off. Turn this TV off, turn this TV off. Turn this TV off, turn his TV off. Turn his TV off, turn his TV off.
Crazy, scary, spooky, hilarious, 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 crazy, scary, spooky, hilarious.
Me and my niggas tryna get it, yeah, bitch. Yeah, bitch. Hit that house, they tell me, is you with it, yeah, bitch. Yeah, bitch. Home invasion was persuasive. What's persuasive? What's persuasive? From 9 to 5, I know it's vacant, yeah, bitch. Yeah, bitch. Dreams of living life like rappers do.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first episode of season 2 of the Will Wonder Show. I know it's been a little while since I've been here, so let me give you a little backstory as to why you haven't seen me on this YouTube channel since October. Did 31 days of Halloween, an episode every single day in October. I was a little tired. I said, all right, I'm going to take about 2 weeks off, maybe 3, get through Thanksgiving, whatever. Well, right around Thanksgiving, my mom started to feel sick. I won't get into details as far as what it was, but it was pretty bad and it got really scary to the point where she was in the hospital for a little while. Luckily, she came home in mid-December. She's doing a lot better now, still not in the clear, but that was taking up a lot of my attention, right? I didn't have time to give content to the Will Wonder Show viewers, but now that things are stable there, we've made it through the holidays, we've made it through the new year. I mean, goddamn, we're in February. Time goes by fast, so I'm excited to get season 2 going. I can't promise to have 2, 3, 4, 5 episodes a month, but I can promise there will be more content. Also, if you're looking just to see my face, which, you know, that's cool. Thank you. I appreciate it. And you're into wrestling, I do a wrestling podcast with my brother Dre Rocca. It's called the Figure 4 Podcast. There will be an ad for that right after this intro, so make sure you check that out on YouTube, on Instagram, Figure the number 4 Podcast, wherever you get podcasts, Apple, whatever. So for season 2 of the Will Wonder Show, I want to have more interviews with people that are doing interesting things. I want to talk music. I want to have opening sets. I want to have some guest DJs as well, do an opening set. So if you are a DJ, and there's a lot of you that I know, especially out here in the Salt Lake City area, let me know. Let's get an opening set going. Also, I'm going to have a number of artists come on and do songs, whether it be rappers, R&B singers. I also plan on more often talking sports. I think that's going to be a different standalone type of thing outside of just the Will Wonder Show. It's going to kind of be its own life. That's how this podcast started. I was really into sports and music and just wanted to talk about it. So we're going to have a little standalone Will Wonder Show sports desk type of thing. I'm excited to get that going. Again, that might be every other week. A little bit easier to do something like that rather than go out, get an interview, edit that, do a mix, edit that, have a performer, edit that. This takes a lot of time to do these shows, but I do appreciate you hanging in there with me. YouTube is growing. We're almost to 200 subscribers, which is crazy. So tell a friend, share with your friends, subscribe. If you haven't already and you're watching this, subscribe. I appreciate it. Okay, let's get into the show. Episode 1 of season 2. We just had the opening mix. Now myself, my brothers Michael Steady Rock Martinez and Crosby Styles are going to talk about the Super Bowl halftime show. We're going to try to predict exactly what Kendrick Lamar is going to do. And I don't think we ever really come up with an answer, but it's a lot of good banter. After that, my nephew Blacc is going to come on. I ask him 5 questions, and then we get into a musical performance. Then I'm joined by my wife, who I think is going to be on the show quite a bit more. this year, season 2. You know, I'll give her a shot. See if she wants to keep showing up here to the show. That is, not to the marriage, because it's for life. So there you go. And we talk about what DEI is and how it doesn't cause fires to burn more, doesn't cause airplanes to crash. And this is a good segment for those of you who may have a very ignorant uncle, cousin, brother, sister, mother, whatever, or maybe you're the ignorant one and you think that DEI does cause these things. Well, stay tuned and we talk about that a little bit. Then I give a history lesson. In that history lesson, I travel to a certain time in Europe and draw parallels to what's going on in the United States now. So again, season 2, episode 1. Thank you all for sticking with me. I'm excited to be back. Let's go.
No pukesters helping me to the left, and no pukesters helping me to the right. Didn't need them then, don't need them now.
You are the ex-champion only.
Now this is the way, Tony and David, that you do the figure 4 leg lock.
You love wrestling?
Do you believe that Stone Cold Steve Austin is the greatest entertainer of all time?
Or maybe that Shawn Michaels is the sexiest man alive?
Or did you have a thing for Sonny from the years of 1994 to 1996 like I did?
Did you know Yokozuna isn't even Japanese?
If you could count the number of dimples on Rikishi's ass, this podcast is for you.
Follow us, the Figure 4 Podcast on Instagram, at Figure4 Podcast. And check us out on YouTube.
Do it.
Tell your punk ass friends about us.
Yeah. Oh, man, fellas. What a year Kendrick Lamar had, 2024. We're coming off the heels of the Grammys. Let me just read off what him and Mustard won for Not Like Us. Best music video, best rap song, best rap performance, song of the year, and record of the year. You all right?
Yep.
That's 5 for 5. Before we get into all of that, though, I should probably introduce the 2 guys that I have here with me. If you were a fan or you listened to the Will Wonder pod, you've heard these 2 gentlemen, but I'll just go ahead and let them introduce themselves. Why don't we go? I don't know if you guys can tell where you're at on the screen, but we'll go with the gentleman with the gold Cuban link chain on, drinking out of a pink cup and a Marlin on his fucking wall. Who are you, sir?
Listen, Mike Martinez is just one guy. You know, I could be Steady Rock. I could be Big Mike. Depends on what day of the week it is. Either way, I'm a brother of both of you.
Yeah.
I appreciate you having me. Hey, and I'm a 2018, 2017 and back Drake fan. Obviously, I'm a Kendrick fan as well. So don't let him fool you. I still listen to Drake. Yeah. Kendrick absolutely put him to bed. I'm sorry. Crosby will agree with me.
Couple knockout punches. And then the gentleman on our bottom of the screen with just the very eclectic. I mean, whatever you want to talk about in that background, there's something to talk about, regardless of your interests. So go ahead and introduce yourself, sir.
What you want, I got it. I am Crosby. I am the brother-in-law of Mike. We are on the same style wavelength. I don't know if you could tell. Yeah. You said Cuban link, and I was like, well.
Yeah, my bad. Okay. You guys are fucking ridiculous. Go ahead. Did you guys plan on wearing the same shirt? Or like, is there golf practice after this or what?
It's just who we are.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's awesome. That's great. All right, guys, let's just a little bit about Kendrick's 2024. Obviously, we want to talk about the Super Bowl. We're going to try to make some predictions about the halftime show, because really, who gives a shit about the game at this point with Kansas City and Philly? There's three groups of people in the United States. There's those who are rooting for Kansas City, those who are rooting for Philly, and those that want to watch Kendrick Lamar at halftime and don't give a shit about either team. And I fall in that third group, and I believe probably both of you do as well. 2024 for Kendrick was crazy, releasing GNX towards the end of the year. But I mean, as you alluded to, Mike, Steady Rock, the beef with Drake, that now I enjoy Drake's music as well. I wouldn't say put Drake in my top 10 artists of all time, but if there's ever been a fall off in the history of rap bigger than Drake, I don't know what it is. Like, this is on top of Ja Rule levels of fall off from losing a battle, taking it out of the realm of rapping into the courtroom and suing is wild. It's fucking wild. But
hold on.
Go ahead, Crosby.
I don't think you know how big the drop off is until he drops another album. I think that's when you'll see, like, okay, people aren't listening to it or vibing to it. He hasn't dropped an album since, so I think it's too early.
Like Kendrick said, just keep me waving my hands, and it'll be good,
Be
right?
dancing, it'll be okay. He did say that.
Yeah. Exactly.
There is a Party Next Door Drake album, I think, coming Valentine's Day.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that. Drake has also been spotted in Australia in karaoke bars, and he's doing some music performances out there. I believe he's also performing out there the same day as the Super Bowl, though obviously we're on totally different times than Australia. GNX.
Good take.
Yeah, GNX. Thanks. Dropping GNX, kind of a surprise album. I mean, we had all heard Squabble Up at the beginning of the Not Like Us music video, but we get that full song, and then we get a number of really great songs on that album. How did you guys feel about GNX? Eddie, we'll start with you. Are you still listening to it? I know when it first came out, it was at a lot of replay value. Where are you at with it now?
So, I go to the gym almost every day, and that's what I base songs on. Like, can I play them? Because
yeah.
Well, and the thing is, because I listen to everything. Like, I was just listening to was it a Candlebox? I was just listening to that at the gym. I listen to everything. GNX has been on replay, and I'm going to put the intro in it with some of the best intros to come out of hip hop. I'm going to put them in the realm of Nas, and some of these. But the album's incredible. He put on for the city, and he's going to win more Grammys next year. I mean, it's facts.
Yeah, you talked about putting on for the city. We had the Pop Out, which was just an incredible 3-4 hour event on Amazon, and had the young artists from the West Coast, everyone from the going back to E40 doing the voiceover to, I mean, there was just a number of artists on that show. So
I hope his tour mimics the Pop Out. This tour he's doing this summer, I hope it even just a little bit.
Yeah, announcing that tour with SZA too, doing football arenas, which is football stadiums, not arenas. Excuse me, just crazy. But Crosby, GNX, where do you sit with it?
I think GNX was boosted a little bit by the hype. I'm gonna be 100% honest. I like it though. I'm a big Kendrick fan. I always have been since Section 80 dropped. Like, I love Section 80, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're asking to compare albums. It's like, pick one of your kids. You love them all. But I would put this down with, like, to me, it's at Section 80.
Wow.
Section 80 around the same, yeah.
Is Section 80 your favorite Kendrick album?
It is not, no.
Okay, what's your favorite?
I mean, Good Kid, Mad City's probably. That's probably it. But the Pimp a Butterfly's up there. I love them. I love all the albums. But I'm saying, like, for me, this one was a little artificially boosted. I feel like it's good though.
Yeah, I mean, he was riding a big hype train. But I think he also delivered, and I think I'm right there with you. I love Good Kid, but I don't know what it is. Maybe it just hit me at the right time. But Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers is the one I listen to the most.
Yeah, yep.
It's the album I listen to the most, but it doesn't have anything that a lot of people, like a casual, like our good friend who runs the Jazz Nation page. He doesn't really like any of the songs on that album. Mm-hmm. For the most part, but you just have to be a certain place in your life and really enjoy rap. What's your favorite Kendrick album, Steady?
God. I mean, I love Damn. I love GNX has been in heavy rotation. I don't think there's one song I dislike or skip over. I also love Section 80. High Powers would be my top 2 favorite songs of it. I absolutely love it. God, I'm going to say Damn.
Okay.
Because Fear would probably be my number 1 favorite song of his. I don't know.
Great.
It hits me different.
Great song.
Because my mom used to say that to me. You going to fear me if you don't fear no one else.
Oh.
And I love her for that.
Your mom's such a sweet woman too. It doesn't even sound like something she would say. All right, let's get into the Super Bowl. Let's. I have a few notes here that I'll let the people hear, and I sent these to you guys already. But Super Bowl halftime performances are generally between 12 to 15 minutes. ranging from anywhere from 9 to 16 songs. So The Weeknd in 2021 did 9 songs. Don't forget he had to walk through that maze of shit. So that was like a long version. You know, he had to go through that whole song. 2019, Maroon 5 did 10. And a lot of these people had guest performers as well. I'm just stating the main performers. Dre and Snoop in 2022 and Rihanna in 2023 both had 11 songs total. Last year, Usher did 12. And man, Shakira and J-Lo, they were out there on a marathon in 2020, did 16 songs. Some of them very, very short snippets, which is, you know, kind of what happens. But what I wanted to do today is talk a little bit about what songs you think he'll do, any features you think he'll have. Obviously, we already know SZA is on the show. That was announced. But I guess let's do this first. Any features you would like to have on the show? Crosby, let's start with you.
Like to have? I mean, I would want Family Ties. I want Baby Keem to come out for that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it'll happen, but that'd be dope. Who else? I mean, SZA was going to be a big one. I couldn't care less about Future coming out.
Yeah.
Couldn't give less of a shit about that. You know, I don't know. Someone that I think would be dope to have come out, though, would be Doechii, especially coming out of the Grammys, something like that. I think that'd be sick as hell. So I'd love to see that.
I agree. And with the TDE tie-in, I think it makes sense. I had Doechii on there. I had Keem as well. I'm going to save this other person that I have written down because I think Mike will say it. But there's been a lot of speculation about Tyler as well, especially with the rollout that Kendrick has had for this performance. Tyler said, hey, I'm performing. I'm on a tour. But Tyler doesn't have a show on the day of the Super Bowl. So, I mean, it's a quick flight from wherever the hell he is at the end of the day. But if Tyler was to come out, does he just do Earthquake and then dip? I don't know. But Mike, who would you like to see perform with Kendrick?
The legend Master P. I mean, that's what it is. Someone from,
that's who you had?
Yeah, I knew that's what he was going to say.
I've been saying that. I would love that because I'm not the biggest Wayne fan. I think everybody knows. I mean, he obviously is a legend in his own right, did what he did. He's not coming, we know. But to have anybody from No Limit, New Orleans, you know what? I'm fine with Silk the Shocker. I know he doesn't have a show that night. I know damn well he doesn't show that night.
Yeah, all of Americans like, who the hell is this?
It ain't my fault.
Yeah.
What Master P? Well, so Matt, if let's just live in this world, Master P comes out. What song is he doing? There's only one song.
You could do 50 seconds, a minute of Make Him Say
Yeah.
Actually, you could just do the chorus for 50 seconds. I'll be fine.
You're ruling out Wayne? Just no Wayne.
I don't think so. I don't think there's no way.
If Wayne performs, we've talked about that this has been the end of Drake, and you said yes, there has to be an album. If Wayne comes out, this is the end. Drake will not do music anymore. He will not do music.
That's fair. We're certain Drake won't.
Can you imagine? Yeah.
You left the gap. You said there's a time difference. I'm like,
you're right. It's a long flight. Yeah, it's a long flight. But yeah, you
Black
never
solidarity. I'd be with it. I'd like it.
I would hope more TDE. Anyone from TDE as well.
Yeah,
Schoolboy would be dope.
I would love to just have everyone. Schoolboy, J-Rock, but you'd think he would have them with him, right?
Yeah.
Just even if they're not performing, they're just out there.
Yeah, I would think so.
I think Keem's a good one. I didn't even think of Keem. If I had to put money on it, I would probably.
I mean, that song is a perfect hype up football song. Yeah. Any sports.
I'll do that dance too.
I know. I will clip it because I still have that video and I'll play it right here.
I am the Omega. PG Lane Rolling Gang. As I heat, don't you address me unless it with 4 letters.
All right, so let's think of some songs. You know, there's another. Actually, let me get to this first. 2 other people that have been mentioned, and I don't think this is going to happen by any means. I don't think there's any way they do this, but there's been rumors of Taylor Swift doing the Bad Blood shit, and I pray to God that doesn't happen because we're going to see her the whole game anyways. If you're a Swiftie, I'm sorry. It's just not for me, and I know this isn't just for me, this halftime show, but I'm good on that.
That would be pretty big though if that happened.
It would be enormous. And then Kendrick could say something about drop another song for the Swifties or something, right? But anyways, what about the mariachi lady at the beginning of Whacked Out Murals to start the show?
Literally just told that at the gym when I saw Crosby. I said, in the state of what's happening right now, how dope would it be? Just her by herself.
Her name is Daira Barrera is her name. I had to look it up.
Barrera.
Daira.
Barrera.
Yeah. I'm talking one spotlight, her. How dope would that be?
Yeah.
Like,
and there was news that broke today that a certain orange human being is going to be at the Super Bowl. So I think it'd be very powerful if Kendrick already had this planned. But I would love that.
Human being.
Goosebumps.
Yeah.
Goosebumps.
Yeah, thing.
Yeah. That thing.
But that leads me to my next question. What does he start out with? What's the first song?
Mike actually he inspired me on this at the gym with what he just said, and it hadn't crossed my mind. But yeah, with her starting out, just spotlight on her, and then go into you're not gonna do the whole song, but the first part of Whacked Out.
Yeah,
just start with that. Great intro to that album, and then go off into something more hype after that. But to start out with her would be hard as hell.
I think that'd be amazing. And I mean, Mike, you said that was kind of your thought, or that's what you said to Crosby at the gym, correct?
Yes.
Because we go to the gym every day. I don't know if that got mentioned.
And oftentimes you wear the same shit.
Yeah.
Matching outfits. Yeah. All right. So I would love that. I think that would be a great intro to the show. I think we have to acknowledge and save at least 3 songs with SZA. Now, does that mean it's one of her own? I don't know, but I think for sure we're getting All the Stars. I think for sure we're getting Luther, and possibly this is where I don't know. I don't know if they do 30 for 30 or if SZA just does one of her own songs, because 30 for 30 is a really big record right now. And I don't know. That's where I'm kind of torn on the SZA tracks minus All the Stars.
It could be that. And then, you know how they use that as like a transition song?
Yeah.
Where there's like a new part of the stage setup or whatever. So she goes and does her thing, and then he goes to the next piece.
Yeah.
I can see that.
That's what I was thinking.
I see him ending with All the Stars. I think they end with that.
That record is like, even when it first came out, it just feels like such a huge stadium.
Yeah, it
song.
is.
Yeah. Okay. Other songs that I think, and you guys can chime in here as well. He's doing Not Like Us. Now, in my head, I said he's not going to get to the A minor part. He's not going to do that at the Super Bowl. Watching the Grammys where the whole place sang it changed my mind. I think it ends on A minor, but the crowd sings it. I don't even think he has to say it.
I think that's a good compromise, because I was like, he's not going to say that during the Super Bowl, but if he stops, the whole world knows that next line.
Yes. And I think it's happening. I think for sure Not Like Us. I think we get TV off in some form or fashion.
Yes. We got to do the mustard yell.
Yeah. That's where it'll start. I guarantee you. Maybe another song and go right into it.
Yeah. What do we think from Damn? I think we get at least one song from Damn. Is it DNA? Is it Humble?
Can it not be both?
It can.
DNA might be second. I don't know. He might come off, if they does Whacked Out Murals, right into just from a performer standpoint. As a performer, that's what I would do.
We've been on stages. Yeah.
No, I'd pick both. I have that on my list.
Okay. Humble and DNA. Do we get anything from Big Steppers? My only thought was N95, or if we go slower, hold on, let me get to my note because I had another one here. I just don't think we go slower is the problem. But N95, I think could potentially be something. Or if we go slow, Count Me Out. But I don't know if those records are big enough.
Count Me Out.
So you don't think anything from Big Steppers?
I could see N95, that Hello New World part that starts out with. That could even be a starter too if it's not Whacked Out Murals. That would make sense.
Steady.
Well, what do you think about him recycling something from? I don't think anything off Big Steppers. But if you look at To Pimp a Butterfly, do you think he recycles All Right since he already did it? I don't think so.
I feel like All Right's
it's a big record.
And it's a good time for that one too. I could see it.
I think it's great. But the only thing that leads me to pause on that is him doing it already with Dre and Snoop. But I think it's a great record, and it makes sense again, like right now in the hell that we're in. You know. What about from Good Kid? This is always hard because that album, you know, as a fan, I'm good with any song, but I try to think from a, hey, this is a Super Bowl. Some people don't even know his music perspective. I don't know. I kind of lean towards Money Trees. It's a good record. It's a good transition record.
Yeah.
But outside of that, I mean,
Swimming Pools on that album, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Swimming Pools.
That'd be my
Bitch
pick
Don't
on
Kill
that
My
album.
Vibe, Backstreet Freestyle, Mad City. I mean, he did Mad City the last time too.
I don't think he does Mad City.
Yeah.
But I could definitely see Swimming Pools.
Because that's
if anything's coming off of there, I'd pick Swimming Pools. I don't think it's highly likely, but
yeah,
I could see it.
I love Money Trees though.
That's a great song. I love that album.
Yeah, yeah.
Money
I
Trees.
love that whole goddamn album.
Steady. Anything you think comes off of there?
I was gonna say "Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe," but you can't say "bitch" on during the Super Bowl.
You say Trick when he does it edited.
Yeah, Trick Don't Kill My Vibe.
Honestly, I think if you were to go slower, like slow it down, he might go to that one first, then hit Luther real quick, and then bam, pop back up. Again, as an entertainer, I mean, that's where I'm going.
Maybe he does the original version of "Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe" that they didn't get the clearance for, and have Lady Gaga come out.
I was just thinking that.
Yeah,
I love Gaga. What the fuck does she know about cameras? No, I love Gaga.
All right, so the for sure's TV off.
Yeah.
Not Like Us.
Yeah.
What about Squabble Up?
Yeah.
I think
that gets in there.
I think he'll do a West Coast, like a whole like stream.
Yeah.
In one for the TV off, Squabble Up, Not Like Us.
Right.
And then we get Luther. Right.
Have a little hype up, bring it down with a little Luther where SZA comes in.
Yeah.
And then hype it back up.
Uh-huh.
Feel that.
Luther. Some type of intro, maybe Whacked Out Mural. So there's 6 songs. So we're realistically talking another 4, maybe 5.
What
DNA Humble.
Can we slip King Kunta in there?
Oh God, I would love that.
Huh?
Maybe.
I would love it.
Could be.
That's my favorite song on that album. When he did that at the pop out, oh my God, it just felt so good. Everyone was dancing. You know, it was a fun vibe.
Do you think he wears shocks, Nike shocks, or like his shiny shoes, his dress shoes?
That's the one thing with Kendrick is it's like, I don't know. Maybe he does the
fucking
whole
off the wall. You have no idea what the hell that guy's gonna do.
Maybe he does the Canadian tuxedo like he did at the Grammys.
Ooh.
Yeah, he's weird like that.
But he's also very he's very dialed into stuff, and everything has so many layers. That's the thing that's nuts. Is like people put out these videos dissecting things, and it's like I didn't even think about.
Do you think though? How accurate do you think some of that shit is? Because
I think some of them are very some of them are very accurate. I think like there is a podcast called the Dissect Podcast that does a great job digging into not even just his work but other people's. But then you get other ones where they're like going down this stuff, and it's like,
dude, you're making this up. Yeah,
there's no way. I mean,
I
he
think
is
Kendrick's touch. I think he's clever. He's artistic. He puts in messages, but there's some where you're just like, dude, shut the fuck out.
Yeah. I agree. All right. So let's go through this again. Let's just try to predict this. So let's just say Whacked Out Murals. Bam. Lady sings. He comes out, does a few bars of that. Is it right in? Does he, this is the hard part with Not Like Us. Does he save it for later?
No, Not Like Us. That's in the last 3/4. That's in the last quarter of the performance.
Okay. So Whacked Out Murals, DNA. How do we feel about that?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
God, it just fits.
Whacked Out Murals, DNA. Then maybe we get that's very hype, and I think maybe one more hype song. Maybe it's Squabble Up.
Yeah. You think he's gonna separate the GNX songs? You think he'll keep them?
I think you separate them a little bit, just slightly.
What if, though, with the GNX thing, you keep them together and he brings out some of those dancers in the Squabble Up video, like that kind of shit?
Yeah,
So
could.
you have all that whole hardcore, like that West Coast
Yeah.
GNX vibe.
Yeah.
for those
Tommy
three
the
songs.
Crown and his
LA.
friends come out.
Bring LA to New Orleans.
Yeah.
Wow.
There you go.
Mhm.
Okay, so whacked out murals. Let's go DNA. Let's then say. So then what? Squabble up or TV off?
Squabble up.
Squabble up. TV off's going to be a little bit later.
You got the
Yes,
mustard
man.
yell, man. You got the mustard yell.
Yeah. Okay.
You know.
Squabble up. Then maybe we get into Humble, and then maybe we get SZA coming out. We're gonna calm it down. We'll do something with SZA.
Yep.
Maybe 2 songs. Get back into TV off.
Oh.
Or maybe not like us in the TV off. Go ahead.
I hope he does his like that verse. Where does that fit in?
He's not doing that verse.
That's such a big record.
Why are you
though.
so, why are you so
the
quick
thing.
to fucking discount?
Think about how big his fucking songs are.
Yeah.
Yes, his catalog is outrageous when you go through. Because I was doing that before this, just going through like, holy shit.
Mhm.
I don't think that verse gets on. I think that's more of like a pop out performance as opposed to a Super Bowl.
It was a big record, though. I mean, it was
Very
really
big.
big.
No, it was. But I just don't think.
I think he does
a lot of big records.
I know. I'm on the fence with like that because then also like I don't think he brings out Future, but maybe Metro comes out. Maybe Metro just comes out to be on the stage with them awkwardly or unawkwardly. Maybe it just fits.
No.
Okay.
I think it
So we're gonna go ahead and say if he does do something off of off a Good Kid, it's gonna be like "Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe" or
Swimming pools.
Swimming Pools. I think you could still do Money Trees because Money Trees is pretty chill too.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the way the hook ends, I think is really good.
Yeah.
And then go into something else. And then maybe that's when SZA comes out after Money Trees. And I think they do 30 for 30 and let her get her stuff off for a minute.
Yeah. Yep.
Do Luther. All the Stars. There's gonna be a song that he does that none of us are gonna think about. What is it though? Or is it just is it with Keem? Does Keem come out?
God, be so goddamn hard. I watched the Big Steppers tour.
Oh,
replay of it when they're in Paris.
Yeah.
And they did Family Ties, and oh my God.
Yeah.
I couldn't even imagine.
Yeah. It's incredible. I mean, when you see the whole crowd,
yeah,
they're all jumping. One song I failed to mention off of Big Steppers that is actually pretty hard, but it's just not a popular song is Mr. Morale. And that has what's the dude's name? Tana Leone.
Yeah.
Where it starts out, it sounds like I don't know who it is. It sounds like Stephen A at the beginning. That was the worst
performance. Yeah. No,
because no, I would love it because when he did that at the Big Steppers tour, I loved it. This is the problem when you're a fan of somebody.
Yeah,
you just want to see it all, but you realistically have to think elsewhere.
So are we all agreeing he's not doing Meet the Grams? I have not heard that mentioned.
There's no fucking way he does that.
All right.
Yeah, I think that's out. I think Euphoria is out, probably, even though Euphoria, whatever.
Okay, of the whole exchange, Euphoria is the best track, period.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah.
It is.
Nothing fucks with it. But no, it won't happen. I would love to see that one too.
Yeah. I don't know. The Mike bringing up like that, I kind of feel like he's going to do it.
I think he's going to do like that. The more
the fire.
The more
I don't see it.
That's such a dope beat. I mean,
yeah. You know what I love about all this is we're talking about Kendrick, we're talking about hip hop, and you got a fucking Marlon behind you.
God, yes, dude. Yesterday, Adriana walked in me in the bedroom. I'm doing the hopscotch dance.
Kendrick, that's his wife, by the way.
That's my wife. Yeah, and I'm doing. She's like, "The hell are you doing?" I'm getting ready for the halftime show. What do you mean? What am I doing? And then I did it later on that night. She's like, "All right, it's getting better."
Yeah.
I was like, "All right, there we go."
Oh man. All right. Well, I think we're kind of dialed in 10, 11 songs. Maybe Adoshi, maybe Keem. I mean, long shot, but hey, it'd be fire. Master P. Let's make it happen.
Yeah,
I
that's
know
not
you'll cry.
happening.
A tear will come to your eye.
Master P is not fucking happening either.
It's not because I think he was mad that Lil Wayne didn't get the Super Bowl too.
Hmm.
He said something on that.
Let's end this with that. Do you guys have seen Lil Wayne live? Both of you?
Mm-hmm.
No,
have you seen
just live performances on
television,
never in person.
Yeah.
Not by choice. He was with Drake.
And you both know I'm not a Lil Wayne fan by any means, but his live performances are so
bad.
Yeah. Like, and very whiny, and like sometimes it's just like, what is he? What?
Yeah.
And I understand it's in New Orleans and he's the biggest artist to come out of New Orleans. But
he couldn't have carried that show anyway. They would have had to bring
no
Drake and Nicki and everybody else to try to support it. There's no way he does that.
Yep, exactly. Thank you. I'm glad we all agree on that. And any Lil Wayne fan who thinks differently, Robert Chacon, who all of a sudden is the biggest Lil Wayne fan on the planet and constantly sends me things about, new Carter coming out. Like, that's great. He really made a 360 or a 180 from what he used to be. Anyways, thank you guys so much. Anything you want to, and it doesn't even have to be about the Super Bowl, whatever. Anything you want to leave people with before we head out of here?
You think Lefty Gunplay shows up?
I'm worried he would ruin. I'm worried he would mess up his 4 words.
Just 15 seconds.
You say you had to rehearse that shit for a while?
We said it was very hard. It was the interview I saw. Like, I couldn't. It was hard for me. And I'm like,
honestly, as an entertainer, if I'm in with Kendrick, maybe I'm rehearsing it a couple times. And this is, again, just coming from a performer.
You might be nervous, but with him, like hearing him speak, you think it's probably just
it's because
it's because it's words.
Yeah, it's hard for him to talk. Yeah. But anything you guys want to leave people with? Again, it doesn't have to be about Kendrick, Super Bowl, whatever. Steady, you can go first.
Hey, I'm all about peace and love, huh? Let's hope that the mariachi singer comes out first. That's all I'm saying. I love that shit.
Mm-hmm. Crosby?
Well, if Snoop happens to come out, I'm booing. So
there you go.
Hold on.
With that.
Wow, Mike just throws us on turns his camera off.
I'm sorry. I'll leave you guys with this. My wrestling ring box I made for my boy. Huh?
Valentine's Day. For Valentine's Day. That's very impressive. Yeah, the Snoop thing is weird. Nelly got dissed at the Grammys after party. I don't know if you guys saw that. Did you guys see it? Janelle Monáe legitimately doing a freestyle as Nelly walked up to the stage, talking about how she don't fuck with. I send it to you guys.
I love Janelle.
And he was.
I love. Yeah, she's dope.
He was not happy.
Good, love it.
Good.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you guys. And hey, if there's one thing we can all agree on, it's we're very excited for the Super Bowl halftime performance, and we could give 2 shits about the game. And we're in a weird spot in the United States. But you know what? Thank you guys. Love you guys. And we will talk to you soon.
I go by Blacc Emergence, Blacc E for short. So basically, Blacc Emergence just stems from always finding something. I wanted my music to be relatable in a couple of different facets. So Blacc Emergence just comes from being able to emerge out of the dark times that you go through. Me as an individual, everyone out there, life isn't always easy. I know music is a lot of people's escape. I wanted to be some people's escape, and music is my escape as well. I listen to everything, pretty eclectic. I like classical a lot. There's just something about driving to classical specifically. Clear your mind with. I like Chopin a lot. If we're talking about hip hop, NWA, TLC, you know what I'm saying? Aesop Rock, it's a big one for me in terms of lyricism and being able to play with words and how you can convey meaning with those words and stretch a concept out. Modern, probably J.I.D., Mick Jenkins, Kemba X, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of them dudes, a lot of them cats. We're talking a chicken sandwich, probably Pretty Bird for sure. I'd be craving that a lot. Pizza, I'm going to Pie Hole. You know what I'm saying? Probably those 2. I live mad close to downtown, so they steal my money a lot. Arepas as well. Yeah, if that Pie Hole long is too long on the weekends. If you in Salt Lake, you know. So just hit next door. C. Volante, for sure. He's definitely up there. The boy Granola, Brandon Bredman, like spitters, people who are like wicked with the pen. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot out here. There's a lot, for sure. So definitely those three. That's how I'm feeling, those three. That's a good question. I kind of want to say it's like mad corny, but like my mom, I look up to my mom a lot. She's one of my best friends. I know that I'm lucky to even be able to say that like a parent is my best friend. You know, a lot of people don't have that relationship. But she's been through a lot. She's taught me a lot. And the way she walks about life, very admirable to me. So I look up to her a lot. I think I'm calling this one Who Knows. Y'all get a treat today because it's not out yet. So Who Knows or Midnight Oil, but it's really just about like, it's really introspective. So I'm kind of tying a lot of things that I've thought about lately that have kind of led me to where I'm at now in life. A lot of the things that I've experienced, a lot of things that I think about, and just kind of the ebbs and flows of like self-doubt and confidence when it comes to being a creative or creating or just walking about life in general. Everyone's not always so confident. Sometimes when things are going good, you know things are going to go bad, so you might not be able to enjoy the good in that moment. I feel like you kind of rob yourself of that sometimes. People have strong opinions about everything nowadays. So just kind of analyzing like the way people look at the world and the way I look at the world. Shout out the boy Wavely on this one. You hear the tag. Let's go.
This cash I have stashed away is a time capsule. In due time, I do find that I'm fine after a golden ticket paid. What's the price of a life chapter? A gilded golden era, spoon-fed via silver spoon. Keep screaming, eat the rich as if the serving is plentiful. The benefits of billionaires if they wasn't cynical. My judgment is critical. I know the peaks I reach are just a peak at the pinnacle. Significance of people's look from here is so minuscule. You can change your point of view. Perspective is pivotal. It's like I can sit with my head in my hands, upset and mad with myself, wrapping my head with my hand. I had to bandage myself, ain't no one handing it to me. I gotta grab it myself. The way I let these thoughts free fall, I know gravity well. Morals and values on life support, I need moral support. Bittersweet the fruits of my labor, I'm foraging for. This forbidden apple hang as low as the forested floor. This little light of mine, what a formidable force. This little stem of mine, the ultimate source is a spore. This little line I rhyme, the slice of my soul that I born, identity crisis. Upon the page where the clarity's formed, more or less learning myself to lessen my burden some more. Weight of the world, some would say. The weight of the weight, I retort, still asking who knows in the mirror, but who knows anymore? Napoleon complex at this height, should've known I was sore. Simply a leap of faith, my failure's a springboard. Simply by the pace of my gait, you can gauge where I'm going. Sweater ain't awake, I turn my wake in a lake to an ocean. Isolated, open water, abstaining from floating. If I held direction here, then the compass would show me. Like what's Polaris? Is polarity comfort and hold me? I'm attracted to the man that's my closest of homies. I know that you gon' roll me in like that scene from the movies, from what I seen in the movies. Yeah, it's light outside, but in the distance I see the moon. This midnight oil is burning bright, let my burnings loom. This midnight oil ain't burning right if it's burning whom. This midnight oil is burning light, bringing burnished tunes. This cash I have stashed away in a space that I can't contain, like I'm catching gravity change with the way that it's having my way. Wash me out, watch me spill all my colors and splatter paint. Leave me hanging, a painting, a canvas of your creation. Spoke this here to existence just like you dared me to say it. This is concrete, I swear, square in the pavement, this is all me. The cross I'm bearing is ancient. Jesus back in Judea, it said to start with a major, a glimmer of independence. The walk was what made it major. I guess the deal is that's the deal you supposed to wait for. Maybe it's the substance and journey and where I came from. Sharing stages with my friends and favorites till my day's done. Sharing papers with my idol artists in a green room. Sharing prayers with my fellow players who lost day ones. Sharing who the thoughts and could've known what this would lead to. Sharing everything cause it was me and didn't need to. Sharing everything that I can see just to get seen through. Bearing everything, I swear I'm straight, I let it bleed through. Bearing everything, a wasteland, yet it see fruit, a pistol and tree roots. Yeah.
Having a good barber is essential, but having that good barbershop experience is even more essential. Get the barbershop experience you deserve with Boogie Down Barbershop, now located at 7378 South Plaza Center Drive in West Jordan, suite number 106. Gentlemen's cuts, tapers, fades, and even a hot towel shave is on the menu. So book your appointment today at boogiedownbarbershop.com and even follow us on social media at The Boogie Down Barber.
Recently in the news, you've heard a lot of talk about DEI. DEI causing fires, DEI making airplanes crash. A lot of things that DEI aren't necessarily responsible for.
No.
So
unless you have common sense, quote unquote.
So I wanted to, there she is.
Yes.
I wanted to have my wife join and talk a little bit about what DEI actually is. Before we do that, Chavalah, how are you?
I'm good.
Coming off the heels of your birthday.
Yes.
Did you have a good birthday?
Yeah, it was nice. I got this hoodie.
Mm-hmm. Show them the back.
Everyone watches women's sports.
There we go.
And this hydro jug because Stanley's just topple over and spill everywhere. Not this. It's very exciting. Lots of spills on the carpet. Not anymore.
So there you go.
Yeah, thank you for
Great.
having me. I'm excited.
Yeah, thank you. I thought we'd take just a little bit of time to maybe educate people on what DEI actually is, what it actually means. I believe that a lot of the people who watch my show already know this, but maybe they can share this video with their dumb uncle or their cousin or
We'll say ignorant. Room to learn and grow,
Yes.
hopefully.
Exactly.
Or maybe they are just dumb.
So I guess let's just start from the beginning. What is DEI?
So DEI stands for diversity, equity, and inclusion. And I read something online the other day how they're saying, spell it out. Quit saying just DEI. Say, are you against diversity, equity, and inclusion? And saying it that way kind of puts a little spin on it, because why would you be against diversity of thought, diversity of people, equity, making sure everyone has, fair opportunities and access, and inclusion, making everybody feel welcome? Why would you be against that? Unless you're racist, which I think that's where we are at. So anyways, starting with diversity, it's the differences that we all bring as human beings, whether it's age, sexual orientation, gender, physical ability, etc. It's just diversity, differences. And there have been a numerous amount of studies talking about diversity in the workplace and diversity in thought, and how that's just better all around for your bottom line, your ROI, for better ideas. And it's just important to have.
Yeah, I think if you have lack of diversity, whether it be background, race, or thought, you get certain instances like the 1920s and 1930s Nazi rule in Germany. You also get a lot of stuff that's going on in the United States as we are recording this. So let's get into equity. What does equity mean? A lot of people will think, oh, that's equality. No, it's not.
Yeah, and that's kind of tricky. I mean, equality and equity are different but similar. So equity is essentially just the fair treatment and access to opportunities, equal access to opportunities. So I wrote down some notes, so just not to get them confused for people. So equality essentially is treating everybody the same regardless of differences. So great, right? Everybody wants equality. We all want a piece of the pie. We're not taking pieces from other people's pieces of pie. We just want equality, which can be really hard to get, but that's what equality is. So for example, giving everyone the same ladder to reach the apple in the tree, for example. We all get a 6-foot ladder regardless of our differences. For Doug and I, Will, however you reference yourself on here.
Thanks for watching.
Yes, he is 6'2", I'm 5'8". Our ladder is going to be a little bit different just because I'm shorter. So that's where equality kind of like, oh, we need a little bit more than that. So that's kind of where equity comes into play. And so equity is providing resources to meet individuals' needs. So for example, providing a taller ladder for some people, creating a ramp for other people, stairs, whatever it is, just to give people that equity in able to be equal. So essentially just the fair treatment and access to equal opportunities is what equity is, which is very, very important.
Yeah. And then there's inclusion, which to me is a no-brainer on what that means, but go ahead. Again, for the ignorant folks or the ignorant uncles, cousins, sisters, brothers, mothers, fathers, go ahead.
Yes. Or if you're just trying to learn more. Because a lot of these, for a lot of people, you hear it all the time, you know you're for it, but what does it really mean? Just essentially creating a welcoming environment where everyone's perspectives and thoughts are listened to, are heard. Everybody's able to lend their voices and just really give their opinion, knowing that it's going to be taken seriously. So just feeling included. And I think a part of DEI, you also kind of want to throw in the B. I always say DEIB, so B for belonging, which has kind of been trending, especially in the HR workforce. But that goes kind of hand in hand with inclusion, just having you show up as you are, your voice being heard as it is, and just feeling included.
So the question that, people who watch certain news channels who hear, well, DEI was responsible for the fires getting out of control. DEI hires were responsible for airplanes crashing. What would you say to that?
It just doesn't make sense. Anyone that knows even a little bit about DEI and just how we explained it, that it's nonsensical. That's not what it is. And what happens is that a lot of the people who are on the far right, they see DEI and they think, oh, this is just for Black and brown people pushing their way up. And just because you're Black and brown, you get these scholarships, you get to get hired, or da-da-da-da-da, or, oh, DEI, so you're a woman, you shoot right up the ladder. That's not how it works. It just creates an equal opportunity and playing field for all people, white men, Black people, Asian people, if you're in a wheelchair, if you're neurodivergent, if you have autism, whatever it is, it creates an equal playing field. So the best of that equal playing field can flourish and do well. And I know a lot of the backlash that he who shall not be named was talking about, because a lot of the fire police chief people were women. And so they were blaming it on that. And just because they're women doesn't mean they're not qualified. And DEI ensures that whoever you are, and the most qualified person might be a white guy, great. It might be a Black woman, great. It might be an Asian person, great. It just creates that level, equal playing field, so the best of the best can really be the best of the best, not just the best of a certain group.
I think that's one thing that gets misconstrued is you always hear like, well, people need to be hired off of merit. People need to be get this scholarship off of merit.
And they tried to just go off of merit, which I get that. But at the same time, there were so many complaints that the EEOC was created because there was so much discrimination going on in the workplace because Black women weren't being hired because of the color of their skin, even though they were more qualified or just as qualified. And then that also is connected to the civil rights movement and the Act of 1964, which prohibited employment discrimination against race, religion, sex, color, and national origin. So this DEI isn't a new thing, but it's just something that we need to have the right people in the right jobs, regardless of what you look like or how you identify.
Yeah, the best person for the job.
Period.
It's that easy.
Yeah. And it's just wild that there are so many governors, for example, Greg Abbott, who is against, do you know where I'm going with this? Oh, yeah, that smirk on your face, like, don't say it.
One of my favorite people.
He, the governor of Texas, he's against DEI. If you Google a picture of Greg Abbott, he's in a wheelchair. So if he wants to get an apple from the tree, he's going to need a ramp.
Yeah.
He needs equity. DEI isn't just about Black and brown people, which is a common misconception like we talked about. It is for people who have, like we said, different physical abilities, people who are in wheelchairs, people who partially deaf, who are blind. It affects everybody. It affects women. I even created this semi-exhaustive list. I won't go over it, but just other ways that you can see DEI just kind of show up in the day-to-day. So language translation services, lactation rooms, remote or flexible work, time off for religious holidays, wheelchair accessibility. So Greg Abbott, do you want your ramp or no? Do you want Trump to take away your ramp? And you voted for it too. So good luck with that. Parental leave for parents, bereavement. So bereavement when someone dies in your family, you need to take a couple of days off. Mental health, so many resources for veterans. I mean, the list just goes on and on and on. So it's not just a black and brown thing. It's just making everybody in the world have equal opportunities and a chance to be their best.
Yeah, the problem is people don't educate themselves on what it actually means, and they only listen to certain people, certain news outlets, and just think, oh, this person got hired.
They're
that person
a DEI
got that job
hire.
because they are not a white male.
Yeah. And if they are a DEI hire, that just means they were the most qualified out of everybody in the pool.
So
And,
go ahead.
yeah, well, I'm just saying, now I'm all heated, I'm getting sweaty.
Sorry. So at the end of the day, DEI doesn't cause fires to go crazy. It doesn't cause airplanes to crash. Any of the dumb shit that you hear on television from the President of the United States, DEI doesn't cause those things to happen.
Probably lack of DEI.
As we go back,
resources.
Lack of DEI is how
The
we
best
are
people
where
in
we
the
are.
seats.
Anything you want to add before? Thank you for coming down in the basement. Number
Yeah,
one.
thank you. Yeah, it was a long trek.
Yeah, a couple steps. Anything you want to add before we go, or?
I don't know. I just think it's just really important, no matter what side of whatever you're on, just to always do your research. If something seems weird or seems wrong, or just Google it. Use AI. Say, what are the benefits of DEI? What are some of the programs? What are the common misconceptions? Because a lot of media is just so skewed, and you're just going to get so many different things for so many different sides, but especially the right-winged media. It's just, a lot of it just isn't true, and they're rewriting history. And for example, it's February, it's Black History Month. You didn't see any posts about that from Trump because they want to get rid of that. They want to get rid of Juneteenth. They want to get rid of, all other holidays that represent discriminated populations. And it's just important that we do our research, realize what it's really about, and have some empathy. And again, you think Greg Abbott would have some empathy. He's in a wheelchair. I don't know why that bugs me so much.
There's a lot of people.
It's the lack of empathy and caring.
Yeah, that's the problem with the world.
Yeah,
and the United States as well.
Yep.
Okay, well, thank you. I'm excited to have you come on more often. You said you would, so I'm going to hold you to it.
Yeah, every once in a while.
Yeah, so thank you. And our son has been behind the camera this whole time, which is probably why we haven't been able to speak as clearly as we would like, because he's jumping back and forth. And bring your sign.
That's true.
Bring your sign so they can see what we had to read. Come around. No, they got to show them. They can't see it. Now you don't want to come in. You said you wanted to come over here. Okay, come on. Remember when we did the I Have a Dream and you had, what was your...
You had to write down 3 dreams.
Yeah, you had to write down 3 dreams.
Yeah.
Do you remember what they were?
Hold on a second. Yes, I do. I have a dream. Everybody will be treated equally. Everybody will be together. Will be together equally. And Mom won't spill her drink on the carpet like she always does.
You kick it over.
It's that easy. Everyone
my
will be
gosh.
treated equally, and Mom won't spill her drink. Okay, say thank you. Say peace out.
Look at that.
I know.
No spilling. No.
Yeah.
Bye. Before we head out, I'm going to give everyone a little bit of a history lesson. In 1948, Winston Churchill said, "Those that fail to learn from history are doomed to repeat it." Here's a simple example of such. As a kid, I could eat bananas. No problem. Bam, puberty hits. All of a sudden, I'm allergic to bananas. My throat starts to swell up. Feel like I'm going to throw up, hard to breathe, ears are itching. Never again having bananas. Very simple. I learned from history. I learned what bananas did to me. I don't have bananas now, which sucks because they're an easy snack, very healthy, yada, yada, yada. Bananas have nothing to do with what I'm about to tell you about. This little history lesson I'm about to go over, I actually got from a page on Instagram called Vote In or Out, and they got it, aggregated it, from Right Wing Watch. Now it's going to get a little bit uncomfortable here, but again, if we don't learn from history, we are doomed to repeat it, and there are parallels in this history lesson that we see today. In 1923, Adolf Hitler incited an insurrection against the German government. He was tried, given a slap on the wrist, and became a convicted felon despite being treated charitably by the judge. Hitler claimed the trial was a political persecution and successfully portrayed himself as a victim of the corrupt Social Democrats. Hitler positioned himself as the voice of the common man, rallying against the elites, cultural degeneracy, and the establishment, who he all labeled as Marxists. He claimed the education system was indoctrinating children to hate Germany and promised to return Germany to greatness. To solidify his base, Hitler masterfully scapegoated minorities for the nation's problems, exploiting societal divisions with an us versus them narrative. Many Germans took the bait, and Hitler's Nazi party continued to gain traction until he became chancellor in 1933. Hitler appointed German oligarchs as his economic advisors. He proceeded to privatize government-run utilities, solidifying support of the economic elite. With the working class divided along cultural and ethnic lines, the Nazis shut down workers' unions and abolished strikes. Hitler knew he and his clan of oligarchs could get away with the scam if they constantly had an enemy within to blame for the country's problems. An easy target was one of the smallest minorities. Hitler removed birthright citizenship rights of Jews and started rounding them up for mass deportations for being illegally in the country. The German press under Nazi rule highlighted instances of violence by Jews to convince the public that Jewish immigrants were a danger to real Germans. Hitler wasted no time dismantling democratic institutions. Loyalty wasn't just encouraged, it was demanded. Opponents were silenced. Media that dared to question him were vilified as the enemy and Marxists. Hitler's propaganda minister, Joseph Goebbels, bragged about how the Nazis were able to intimidate the media into giving them favorable coverage and didn't need to give direct orders to do so. The Nazi regime and its followers collected all books they saw as promoting degeneracy, or what would be considered today as woke, and burned them in large bonfires. They also burned books that promoted class consciousness. Berlin had a thriving LGBTQ community in the 1920s and even had the first transgender clinic. The Nazis burned it down to the ground. LGBTQ people were sent to concentration camps and forced to wear triangle badges. Many were killed in the Holocaust. The Nazis also saw manhood as under threat by independent women who didn't rely on men. In 1934, Hitler proclaimed, "A woman's world is her husband, her family, her children, her house." Laws that had protected women's rights were repealed, and new laws were introduced to restrict women to the home and their roles as wives and mothers. Reproductive rights were severely rolled back, and doctors who performed abortions could face the death penalty. Despite all of this, German people didn't have a similar historical parallel to look upon as a warning. Most Germans never acted like the sky was falling. Most just went along with their lives as usual until many of their lives were snuffed out. By the time Hitler's reign was forced to an end by the Allied powers, 11 million people were murdered in the Holocaust and 70 to 85 million were killed in World War II. Now, again, you just draw parallel lines in certain instances to what's going on in the United States today. Please educate yourself on what's going on in the world. I understand that ignorance is bliss, but again, if you just sit back like nothing is happening, you're just as much of a part of a problem as the people that are pushing this agenda. Now, don't come at me with, oh, there's no way this would happen again. All I'm doing is drawing parallels to what happened in the 1920s and 30s in Nazi Germany to what's going on in the United States of America right now. I believe in good people. I believe everyone who watches this show is a good person. And if you disagree with what I'm saying, that's the beauty of America. Let's talk about it. Thank you all for watching, and we will see you next time on The Will Wonder Show. Peace.